Can we have some context?
E.
E.
I. Sorry.
You guys are pretty good.
Can we guess?
Yeah,
No,
you are.
don't ruin it.
Oh, R.
S. In.
Yeah! Alright,
That was an example of a warmer there, right?
so we play Hangman. Before that, we talked about. What did we talk about?
What we did last week.
Yeah, what we did in the last workshop. Okay, so there's 2 warmers there. So just have a quick talk. Could be a warmer. So just for 1 minute, have another chat on your table. What do you think are the pros and the cons of those 2 activities as a warmer?
It can be a bit. Yeah, especially when it's
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. So, a discussion about the previous lesson. We'll call it the previous lesson. What do you think is good about that? Is there anything good about that?
There's lots, yeah.
Jake?
It allows people to review what was taught last lesson. It also gives other students the chance to maybe teach and to reproduce some language that they also used last lesson and just jog other students' memories.
Anything else?
No, I think it's not always great. I think it's good use of time.
Okay.
I think a lot of students won't do it if you ask them to do it.
Especially if it's
Like
the
when
first
it's
thing in the
yeah, when it's
class.
like a free discussion, then I'm going to
At 9:15 in the morning, you go, okay guys, discuss this. I sit there like, I'm tired, I want coffee, teacher, can I go to the bathroom and do this? Okay.
Okay.
I think you almost need to get their attention before doing that.
Alright.
I agree.
Okay. What about Hank? Jake,
I think it depends on the level as well.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
my intermediate class, I have to do this.
Kind of also depend on how structured you do it as well. Like, could you have on the board some of maybe the language that you use or some of the things you directly want to be talking about to review, like phrasal words, or like, you know what I mean? Like, have some structure to it so it's not just free for all chat, maybe.
Definitely. Okay, how about Hangman? Pros?
It's really nice. It's fun, yeah. And they're always like a good game, don't they? Don't they?
Don't they?
Yeah, they always love a good game. Alright.
It's a good way to get their attention straight away.
Yep.
It's a good way to introduce a topic.
Yep. Okay. Negatives?
It could get, if you played it more than, like if you played it on the regular, then get bored. They'd be like, oh, it's time again.
Yeah, it's limited, isn't it? What they're actually gaining from it.
It should be limited.
If there's no like context, then it could be anything. So if that makes sense,
Yep.
like any word.
Yeah, so if you were
I'd use the
introducing
word tomato. Alright.
this-
Change the spelling of tomato.
Yeah.
Is that useful? Okay.
I like Hangman for a review.
Hmm?
I like Hangman for a review.
For review, okay. Yes. Okay, so here's what we're hopefully going to do today. Consider what makes a warmer or a filler good, and then share some ideas. So first, what are they? Jake, I think you kind of touched on this when you were talking in your group. Can you tell us what a warmer is?
That explains it much better than I do, but I would say it's right at the start of a lesson.
Yeah.
And just warm everybody up.
Yeah, I think that's it, right? It's to warm people up.
So it's a warm-up.
Yes.
Get them ready. If you just launch into a lesson. Okay, morning everybody. Open your books. Question 1. Off
Read
we
this.
go. Sometimes in the books, question 1 can be a warm-up.
Yeah.
Or it's a
Yeah.
conversation question or it's something like that. Sometimes we need to think of our own thing. But yeah, it just gets them ready. Like we talked about, it can be a good way to recycle stuff from a previous lesson. Get them using the language that they study. A filler is like a short activity that we just use when we need to fill a short time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, if we're ahead of schedule, or the lesson's finishing early, or sometimes it's just if what you've got planned isn't working. If everybody's falling asleep, I just need to throw in a game and wake everybody up. A lot of the time they can be the same activities. Generally a warmer is going to be planned in advance, whereas a filler isn't, because if you plan it in advance it's part of your lesson, so it's not filling the gap. But again, it might be some activities that you do use as a planned part of your lesson, but you can also use as an improvised part of your lesson. So that's what they are. Here are some things that we need to think about when we're choosing them. So we touched on some of these when we were discussing differences between a conversation and hangman. So yeah, how appropriate is it for the students? Some things that work with teenagers don't work with a class of 40-year-olds. Some things that work with a very bubbly, energetic class, like a conversation, don't work with a class of 15 really shy students that hate speaking. Appropriacy for the level. So yeah, things like hangman can be great for maybe an elementary class, but if you went and tried it with an upper intermediate class, they might feel a bit like, yeah, it's a bit childish, it's not very challenging, what am I learning? So you need to think about the level of the class. Linguistic value, meaning, are they using any language, first of all? There are games we can play that don't involve any English. So, are they still valuable? Maybe not. Maybe they've got more effective value. So the purpose of the game is just to have some fun. Cheer everybody up, wake everybody up. And it doesn't matter. But that has to be, I think, a conscious decision on our part that we know, okay, this game is just to wake everybody up. I can't have 30 minutes of games like this where there's nothing actually being learned. So yeah, linguistic value is in using the target language that we're studying today, maybe it's a warm-up, or that we studied previously, so they can recycle it. Communicative value, how much are they talking to each other? Again, it doesn't have to be super communicative, but it's something we need to think about in the lesson. Is there any preparation required? Again, with warners, if we're planning it in advance, we've got more time to think about that. But if it's just an on-the-spot filler that we're just thinking of now, we can't go and really print stuff out, cut things up, prepare language. What else have we got? Any language input that they need. So, for example, if we're playing hangman, they don't need any language, they can just shout letters out. But if we're playing 20 questions, then they're going to at least need how to ask a yes/no question. If it's some different activity, they might need lots of language. If it's have you ever done the game where one student describes a picture and the other one has to draw it?
Oh yeah.
If you haven't, you should definitely try it.
It's really funny.
But again, they're going to need things like left-hand side, top right-hand corner, there are. So you just need to make sure that they've got the language they need. Instructions, setting it up. Is it easy? Is there anything we need to prepare? How are we going to do it? How long is it? If it's a filler, ideally less than 10 minutes, but more than 2 minutes, otherwise what's the point? How involved do you need to be in the activity? So again, sometimes there's value in the teacher being very involved in the activity and taking part, leading it. Other times it's nice if you can just set it up and then step back, especially if it's an activity where it gives you time to think about the next thing you're doing, which is what happens in my lessons quite a lot. So, okay, you guys do this for 10 minutes while I figure out what's next, or change the plan a bit to react to what's happening. And then last one, variety. So again, like I said with Hangman, if you do it a lot, it loses its fun. But then at the same time, if you do a different thing every day, they have to learn what this thing is. So there is value in repeating stuff, because the more you do it, the less time it takes to set up. So these ideas on a kind of sliding scale. So for example, at one end we might have, okay, it's a really fun activity. On the opposite end, it's a really serious activity. So that might be, okay, we've studied some vocabulary, so now I want you to write 3 of your own gap-fill sentences, and then somebody else will complete them. Which, okay, is great. Takes a lot of time, but it's not very fun. So if you're trying to wake the class up, it's probably not going to help. But it does give them some very good practice with the target language. And then you have simple English to complex English. Not related to the lesson at all, which is something we didn't talk about, to very related to the lesson. So again, there's pros and cons to both of those. Not communicative to very communicative. 0 preparation to lots of preparation. No special language needed to some specific task-related language that I need to give them before they can do it. And teacher-centered to learner-centered. That's it. So those are the things that I think we should think about when we're choosing activities. And now it's over to you guys to come up with loads of activities.
Oh, this is a hard one. I'm not very good at this.
Well,
I'm going to be honest, I'm not.
I did pre-warn you that you should come armed with an activity or two that you use.
Tell me about sarcasm, right? It is, yes.
No, yeah, no, I'm being completely serious. Like, I'm really bad at forms and this. I always just stand there like, okay, and I just come up with really random things in my head.
Okay, who thinks they're really good and have loads of warmers and fillers up their sleeve?
I have a good one.
Just one good one? Who thinks they've got a few?
Then I got like
3 or 4 to share?
Probably blues teachers.
Come on, Luke.
Who thinks
share
they've got
this
enough?
down.
Or one?
I've got like 1 or 2.
1 or 2.
I coach everybody
1 or
else
2.
will get mine.
Okay, well that's okay, you 3 work together.
Can we
You two work together.
We're doing good. Think something good. We're not trying to have it. Come on, Luke.
Sorry, it's Aaron.
Right, so just have a quick talk aloud. Wait for it. What's your activity? So just tell your partner or your group what it is, what happens, and then have a quick discussion. Where would it be on here? I think 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Something.
Well, I do more with pronunciation to make it.
Yeah.
Because we talk about pronunciation.
I do a lot of stuff with the whiteboard.
Start the boss.
Oh, yes, it does really good. It actually happened a lot. We did.
Yeah.
History, lots of different things. I think that's better for like a review.
Yeah.
Code. Actually, I don't use code, but like code is a good one.
Oh, really? This was a good idea, but there's still quite a while, so I'm not really a woman. 7 matters. Okay. So take topic, talk, take another topic.
Yeah, do it again.
Yeah, it's really good. Repeat.
Yeah, I use that one all the time, especially if I've got like a last minute cover, or I just want to get them to speak about anything. Yeah, you just give them like a piece of paper and get them to rip it up into 4 pieces maybe, 8 pieces if you want it to last forever. So they've got 8 little bits like that, or 4 bits, and then write down a topic you like talking about. So it might be family, holidays, dreams, sport. One guy wrote down chemistry.
Assembly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they can all put their cards together on the table, so they've got a stack of topics. And then if you want to mess with them, you swap the stacks over, so they get a different table stack of topics. And then just take one and talk about it for 1 minute or 3 minutes, depending on how strong they are, how long you want it to last. Then you can give them some feedback if you want. But yeah, that can be a nice way to kill 10 minutes at the start, get them to talk to each other. You can drag it out for an entire conversation English extra.
Yeah.
Alright, shall we share? Yeah. Who wants to share first? Volunteers?
I haven't given it was all my idea.
Okay, thank you, Leah. You share.
It's called Change Chairs If. So it's best to set it up like before the students arrive, otherwise it'll take too long. But you have the chairs down the middle of the classroom, back to back, and one chair short, so someone's always stood up. And I did it with pre-intermediate for free time activities. And the person stood up goes, change chairs if you like swimming. And then everyone who likes swimming has to change chairs, and the person stood up has to try and sit down.
Oh, that's good.
I think do like a variation on that where they sit in a circle. I normally do
Yeah, that's like fruit salad.
That's free salad.
Yeah.
You give them all the thing and then they, if you say it, they have to switch.
Yeah.
What's fruit salad?
Oh, so you basically sit, you can do it with pronunciation stuff. You sit them in a circle, give them all like a sound, and then if you sit, four, and then, so yeah, there's 4 sounds, so then obviously they're repeated, some people have the same sound. And then if you say a word that has that sound in, everyone who is that sound has to stand up and switch chairs. And then you like,
Sounds good. Yeah. Cheers.
Where would that be on the
okay, well,
The
it's going to be
fun
fun.
on the fun scale?
Fun.
Super fun.
Yeah,
Super fun. I think it would be you could change it up maybe. Maybe in the middle. if
Just
you
the
did
sounds. So if you say like,
that. Yeah, so if I said oh, you can be and then I said cat, everyone who's has to switch.
but what about if?
Okay.
No.
You
Solve.
understand?
Yeah. Great.
Any problems?
Okay, how related to the lesson is it?
Very.
Well, if it's a pronunciation English extra, very related, isn't it?
Yes. Okay. How communicative is it?
Not very.
So.
Yeah.
Not very, because they don't really talk, do they? Unless you make them say it as they stand up.
Yep. Preparation time?
Easy.
Usually, especially if you script them. Everyone stand up, same time.
It can take a little bit of time to set up if you have to move the chairs and stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to consider that. If you've only got 5 minutes to fill, it takes 2 minutes to get them in position, explain it.
10 minutes to do the classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Any language needed?
Nothing specific.
Teacher centered or learner centered?
I don't know, in the middle I'd say. Because if I'm saying the word, unless you put one of the students in the middle as the person, then it would be completely learner-centered. But if I was in the middle saying the words and they were the ones switching, then it would be in the middle.
Oh, do you use them in the middle?
Sometimes.
And then they get really confused because like if they stand in the middle, so if they're cat, but then they end up in the middle and they say train, then they're a train, if that makes sense. So it really confuses them.
Excuse me. Okay. What I would do to ramp it up towards this end is make it related to yes/no questions. So I always use it if I'm teaching the present perfect. And whoever's standing up has to make a have you ever question. And then if your answer is yes, you've got to move.
Oh, that's
I
a
think
good
that
one.
have you ever, I guess.
The fingers. Tell us more.
Just have you ever? So you hold up your fingers and
Yeah.
you've got 5 lives. So have you ever done this? Or have you ever done this? And then if you have, you've got one down.
Yep.
And then it's the last one standing. So they all try and like, kill each other.
What can we use that for?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be present perfect.
Yes, I think you can use both of those for any yes/no questions. If you were doing past simple, you have to make a did you go to the mall yesterday?
Could you use it with modals as well? Could you say like, would you ever? Should you ever? Would that work? Could you ever?
Could you?
Have you
Would it
ever?
work?
Have you
No, it
ever?
couldn't really, 'cause it's not yes and no, is it?
Yeah,
Would you ever?
I guess you could do. Could you ever like jump off? Could you ever do it?
I suppose.
Have you
Would you
ever?
ever? Go down. Possibly.
Possibly. If you were teaching that. Maybe not
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
the first time they've encountered present perfect.
Yeah.
I'm saying to make it
Upper
more
eight class,
complex.
you want to spice it up a bit.
Mm-hmm. Another one you can do, you can adapt SIP. Has anyone ever played SIP that point? SIP that point. You can adapt it, so if you have like vocab, you can, instead of using SIP that point, you can have different words. So like, for example, household products, you can have like sofa. But yeah, you know what I mean, one is sofa. And then you do it, it's really funny, because they get really confused at that.
What is it like?
Yeah,
Okay, so basically they stand in a circle, okay, and then the original one is just like a normal game. If you go this way, it's SIP. If you go this way, it's SAP. If you go across, it's point. And they have to go really quick and go around the circle. And if you hesitate or stop, then you're out. So then it's like, you know, fight to the death basically to the end. And then I do it with vocab instead of doing SIP, SAP, point. I give them. So I played it with rooms once. So then I did like 5 rounds where it was like bathroom, kitchen, and dining room. So then they have to be like bathroom, bathroom, bathroom. And then if they go this way, kitchen, kitchen, kitchen. And then it's just like practicing saying the words. And then they have to say them quickly as well, so they practice them.
So they can choose what they say.
No. If they go this way, it's kitchen. If they go this way, it's bathroom. And if they go across, it's what's the last one? Is it dining room?
And it throws it to the other
And it
person.
throws it to another person. So if we were standing in a circle and I went kitchen.
Let's play.
Yeah, do you want to just do SIP that point? Kitchen, bathroom, dining room.
You can also do it with legal pairs if it's pronunciation.
Oh yeah.
Big bag of.
That's
big
another
bag.
thing.
Yeah. Okay, let's try. So, okay, if you go left, it's big.
Big.
Big. Okay, so let's practice. Big.
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 Okay, if you go right, bag.
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 Yeah.
Okay, if you go across, it's going to be bug.
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 Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Watch this, not get into it.
Bag.
Bag.
Okay, Jake's out. This is first time, so we'll let him
Okay.
Okay, Chanel, you start.
What is it? Bag.
Bag.
Bag. I can say what it is, but I don't understand. Hey, who's going?
Too slow, you're out.
Bag. Thank God.
Big.
Bag.
Big.
Big.
Oh, you said it wrong. You said bag.
Okay, you get the idea.
I'm going to call it big bag.
Okay, great. Other ideas? Let's do one more, 2 more.
What do we have? Do you have any ideas? Does anyone have any ideas for games for one-to-ones? Because I've been really struggling this week.
One-to-ones.
Like just something you can do. Luke said a good one about the cards. You have to tell them what it is.
What is it?
It's just pack of cards and you just get them to say as quick as possible.
Could you do it with like different things?
I do something with pronunciation. It's not really a game, but it's like, say it's middle pairs, for example, leech and reach with the Japanese, so leech and reach.
I bet that's what
Make sure you finally get it right, or they finally understand the difference between leech and reach you can hear. And you write 1 leech, 2 is reach, and then you'd say reach, reach, leech, and they'd say 1, 1, 2, reach, reach, leech, 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 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. And then reach, leech, 1, 2.
You
stuff like
told
that.
me this one with the phone numbers before, didn't you?
Yes.
It's very good. It's very good, and it works. Yeah, I've seen results.
You can do one with a map as well. If you draw like a map.
This is quite like different.
Minimum start one start point and like different end points. So if it's like left, left, left.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, yeah,
I've seen something like
That's
that.
And
in Hancock pronunciation games. There's a pre-made map.
Yeah, I've used it before. I saw it
What is
there.
another game?
So yeah, you do the same with that, assigning words to left.
That game is really fun, especially when you do it with phone numbers, because everyone's like, teacher, I have to put my real phone number, and I'm like, if you want to choose, I'll choose.
I did in pronunciation because I was thinking, how can I take the numbers? So I used my number and I was like, please don't ring me. And then I said it and then someone rang me and I was like, and it comes out. After the teacher was like, teacher, I will call you tonight. I was like, I can't pronounce it.
Is it easy peasy and pronunciation?
What about for vocabulary, getting them to make their own flashcards? Have you ever done that?
No.
It seems time consuming.
Yeah, that's the point.
I thought this was a filler.
Yeah, it could be a filler, it could be a substantial filler. More towards the serious end. But I think it's good because it gives them a good study skill, hopefully, that they can use.
So you just make them
Like make their own flashcards. So if usually towards the end of the lesson, if you've taught them some vocab, and then just model some on the board. Okay, so on one side you write the word in English, pronunciation, part of speech maybe. On the back would be definition,
right.
would be translation. would be-
Oh, when you said flashcards, I thought you meant like draw a picture. I was like, what?
Okay.
Anagrams. Use anagrams sometimes to start a
Yeah.
lesson. Or maybe a review.
Do you ever get them to make their own anagrams?
I'm starting to think you're a bit lazy, Sam.
Not lazy, clever. It's all about learner-centered. Get them to do it themselves.
Also, you can do articulate, maybe with like intermediate students. So they have, like, say for example, the vocabulary, they have a word, and then the whole class or in teams has to describe the word without saying
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
So it gets them to use knowledge that they already have to elicit.
Yep. Any other great ideas you feel compelled to share?
I have one that I told these two.
Alright.
Have to have an even number of students. Alright. So make sure there's an even number of students, otherwise it will definitely not work. Decided to like talk about something for 1 minute without stopping, so they cannot stop speaking. So you have to use like conjunctions, intermediate, upper intermediate, at that kind of level, printed, they should all be able to do it. Speak without stopping. And then after that, get them to prepare for 3 minutes, and then speak for 1 minute. And then you can tell one person to stay static and the other person to stay static in the pair. And then the other two people have to move and swap. And they have to listen for 1 minute, and then you swap it again, depending on how many people you have in the classroom. And afterwards, you just ask somebody, okay, so who did you speak to? I spoke to Leonie, okay. What did Leonie talk about? She said this and this and this and this, and like taps into report speech and stuff like that. And then you move to Leonie, okay, Leonie, who did you speak to? Oh, I spoke to Shamila. And then what she said, and you go around the whole class if you have enough people. And hopefully everybody listened, and then everybody spoke for a minute, and it works quite well. I do that sort of like, maybe each class, maybe once a week. Always works. You have to have an even number. Why? Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool. Any questions? Well, then the final thing, in the nature of, or in the spirit of sharing, and in the spirit of Google, set up a table that I think would be nice if everybody just adds ideas to. And then when you're looking for some new ideas, you can go and have a look.
Donut conversation.
So I've thrown in the old donut conversation, which is a bit similar to what Jake's talking about, where they stand in 2 circles and just give them 30 seconds, and they have to try and find out as much as possible that they have in common.
Oh, that's good.
If it's a higher level, it's not allowed to be obvious stuff, so not we're both girls, we're both in Malaysia, some new information. Oh, we've both got 2 sisters. We both love pink. And then again, rotate the outer one, they do it 2 or 3 times, and then again you do the feedback. Okay, Samantha, tell us about one person. Samantha tells us about Shamila, some things they've got in common. Okay, Shamila, tell us about one other person that you spoke to. Okay, she tells us about Luke. Okay, Luke, tell us about somebody you spoke to. I think it's especially with the new groups when they don't know each other. They're building rapport, getting to know each other, icebreakers. And that's it. And then I put my name there, so if the instructions don't make sense, you can come and ask me, dude, what is this donut mingle you're talking about? No preparation needed.
Okay.
So that's it. Please try and add a few ideas. Keep going back to it, add in more when you've got a good one. the end.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.